Lampona mo. Lampona mo. Alright, problem of our content creator. I can never see. I will never feel investment equipment. But yeah, we started this on a whim. And a day that will I even start. So I've started. But now I have to figure out if this damn thing actually works. I'll be right back, guys. We are cooked. We are so cooked, and it's not even funny. Sorry about the noise. Dumelang batho. Sanbonani, Avusheni, all of it. The clown is back on the internet. Welcome to Corporate Gulova YouTube channel. We were trying to ensure that we fix our lives. Unfortunately, we have failed. So, first and foremost, part 2 of that 30-minute so-called podcast had its video corrupted. So me and Mr. Se must go do another part 2. And then there's a part 2 that we were feeling. But it seems that the vibe was not the same. Anyway, welcome back to the Corporate Gulova YouTube channel. And today you are joining me on a yap session on how cooked we are. We are very cooked as a generation. No man, we're gonna keep it light. Don't have only terrible news. I hope national dialogue leads are serious. I hope leads are serious, but I know, much like everything in this country, disappointment after disappointment. But yeah, folks, gents, Guluvagazis, our cooked, guys. We are cooked, we are cooked, we are cooked. I cannot stress that enough. Even at work, we are cooked. But no problem, as I always say. Matata ha, you matata ha. I hope to remember to include the insert where it says ha, you matata. But if I forget, I'm sorry. We are cooked in 2 ways. One, we are a generation that is very late to everything. No. Not because you are late because, oh no, you missed an appointment. No, you are late to the party. Like, there was a time whereby everything seemed to be working. You graduate, you get a job, you get a car, you get a house, you get married, you have 5 kids, you grow old, your kids involved in teenage pregnancy, you become a grandfather, all before the age of 50. Right now, another thing whereby we are cooked, we don't know where we are going. I read it, guys. I swear. We don't know. Even the smartest of people don't know where we are going. That's how cooked we are. Now, let's start on the premise. Why we are always late to everything. Guys, there was a time whereby, when I studied what I studied, right? I studied Bachelor of Accounting Science at the realest university in the world. UJ, shout out. Yes, there's vets in everybody and what. Oh no, 100 years in existence. It's giving museum, but it's okay. We were loved at UJ, so it's fine. Yes, the VT scholars, the high school down the road. It's because we were really loved. We were loved, guys. Like at my school, we were loved. Cost child, but a child with very supportive lecturers. They ensured that they are with you through those flames. Their advance, apparently it was God for us all, Gulova for himself. But it's fine. When people were told that no, in order for you to have a sustained livelihood and career, you should become a chartered accountant. Right? They told you straight up, like, you can never go wrong there. Let me tell you right now. There are people that have finished that are considering going back to school and perhaps study that thing that they've always wanted to study. Because I know people that wanted to study music and dancing, boy. But they were like, no, you must be a chartered accountant. Because that's where the money is, boy. I'm finding the chartered accountants of today, boy, don't inspire confidence. And it's not because they're cheap. I know there's that thing that, oh no, you know, accountants and budgeting, oh no, they're so cheap. No, it'd be rough out there in the streets. It'd be rough, dog. They're getting Mbeki's era type salaries in Cyril's economy. They're getting salaries where you could afford a one series for 3,200 a month. Financed, no balloon, no deposit. Right? That's what has happened there in Mbeki's era there. But yeah, if you go ask them right now, one series, a BMW 1 series right now, I think it's going for like what, 12,000, 15,000. I don't know. Because I didn't even bother looking, because we be that cooked, guys. We be that cooked. Maybe I should have been as a chartered accountant in 2007, but impossible. Still in high school. How could I have been a chartered accountant in 2007? But we are cooked, guys. We live in matchboxes and we call them apartments when we get there to the villages. So we live in matchboxes, and then when we get there to the villages, we're like, oh no, I live in my apartment there in Sunning Hill. It's a matchbox, boy. It's a matchbox, boy. Like you can literally roll out of bed and you are already at the door, bruh. That's how you know that we are cooked, dog. We are cooked. You cannot stress that enough. Oh. In the follow-up to what we are late for as well, right? We now live in a generation whereby university education is valued, but not really. Not really. You have forex people living better than professionals, boy. Like forex guys are living better than working professionals, and these professionals are professionals that are like, no, I work at one of the biggest banks in South Africa, boy. When you look there, boy, oh, man, boy, you can know that those chinos are from the 2015 collection. Yako Mr. Price. That shirt, yako exact, boy. Yako exact. Apparently the girlies are no longer feeling truers anymore. They go to that overpriced Mr. Price now. Oh, our cooked. But anyway, I want to be serious. Wait, guys. Leave what I have said so far. Leave it alone. I'm going to be very serious in the next few seconds. Apparently, so I'm going to be serious for a second. But it seems that Kanin set the music. So I'll say, Hamudimu alite muna hayo machata hayo matata hayo matata. Then we compose ourselves. Let me get into my presenter mode era right now and explain to you how cooked we are. So, one of the interesting things that has happened in the past few weeks is that there's a political party called, is it Bosa? Yeah, Yantate Maiman, Dr. Maiman. We must respect the man. The man wore a red hat. Damn, what is happening? I am being serious. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. back again. Turns out someone was trying to call me. Guys, I'm trying to be a content creator here. Be serious. Do not call me on Sundays. Anyway, so they put up a bill, right? It's focused and aimed at ensuring that South Africans have fair and equitable, salaries, I guess. I don't know if those adjectives even work, but point is that the recruitment process in South Africa has worked such that it seems to favor the companies and the so-called recruiters, and especially in situations whereby the function of recruitment is outsourced. So in this case, you find yourself that you have applied for a position to a big company, but that recruitment process is handled by an external company. So that's where you'll have situations like, can we have your previous employment's payslip to decide how much we should pay? And many of you validly have been always saying that, what does that got to do with anything? And then, through the internet has people that are very useful that will tell you how to navigate that conversation, to say that, look, ask them what the budget is. If the budget is within what your expectations are, you can accept the offer and there's no need for your previous employer's payslip. But others make it a thing that you must provide it or else you might not get the job. Because it's very cold, so I have the heater on, so even if it's there in the background, very sorry. Fundamentally, what this then does is that it constrains your ability to earn more, because one of the going theories is that if you move from one place to another, you are able to get more money, because when you get to that place, you'll say, I want 100,000, the next place you'll say 200,000, and within a space of 5 years, you could have started with a salary of 80,000 rand a year to now 500,000 rand a year. So that's a good return on investment, right? So to curb that, these guys pay you almost what you used to get paid before. No adjustment for inflation, nothing. And this causes an imbalance, because now that means that instead of people's salaries growing to the ever-growing demands of Cyril's economy, whereby if someone back then in 2011 or wherever could afford a BMW 1 Series for 3.2, of course a BMW 1 Series is no longer 3,200, it's 15,000. Therefore, a person can now afford to pay 15,000 rand for a car and still have enough to live. That is not the case right now. That is not the case. And part of the contributing factor is that people's salaries are not growing at a fast rate enough, but inflation and the cost of living keeps on growing. And even that inflation on its own has its own politics, as to say, inflation this, inflation that. But guys, what do you mean inflation? Because the Reserve Bank has been releasing for the past few quarters that inflation has not seen anything above 7% in a while. But no, the price of eggs must be 100 rand for 30. Right? And then they'll say, no, what? But I digress. Leave that. I digress. Salaries. So on these salaries, right, if they are not growing fast enough, that means it's going to be harder for you to get by in the economy. Therefore, you can have the most well-written title there at your office job to say that, oh, I am a what head of markets of consumers. But your salary is giving clerk, it's giving administrator, it's giving intern. Because when you were recruited, those guys said to you that no, we will only increase your previous employer's salary by like 10,000 rand. And now this is where it gets interesting. 10,000 rand what? The pay structures have differed. Employers no longer contribute to medical aid and pension. They now have this thing called cost to company, the cost of employment. This is them saying that we're giving you 50,000 rand, so your medical aid will come from that 50,000 rand. Your pension will come from that 50,000 rand. Any other ancillary benefit you might get will come from that 50,000 rand. So you end up taking home and take home is not like in your bank account. Take home is like your cash salary, basically. For a lack of a better word, your cash salary. Your cash salary then becomes 42,000. 42,000 somewhere about there. And now, I also hohe tax. I also think that they kiss with a chelter. And then hohe tax. So from 50K, you are now sitting at around 36,000 rand. Let that sink in. So before before you can have a bank account in your house, there's 16,000 rand worth of your labor that has already gone. And who like rata bloma body sunning healy, rata bloma body what water valley what dago midrand. Ba sheba ga mahlo ye bo clever e ba ko midrand. Ba sheba mahlo. They look at you in the eye and say, for this 2-bedroom apartment that is the size of one kitchen there in Kilani, we want 15,000 rand per month without utilities. Then they go back, look at you, drive yourself crazy. Oh no, it's so expensive. You'll take it because I knew you will got that deal. So now, that's how cooked you are. Right? Because if you buy a house, you pay in the same range. Because it's not like these banks are so excited to see you own your first home. Then be like, you know what? Because you are such a good guy, we'll give you a favorable interest rate. They're not. They're not going to do that. So salaries don't have enough bandwidth with the modern day cost of living. And some of you will tell us, no, save, invest. The returns, what? In fact, you cannot save yourself out of poverty, guys. Which brings me to the profile of what and who we are talking about. We're not talking about someone that generally, came from somewhat of a bit of something. You understand? We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about people that came from nothing. Their life has always been a constant struggle. Even them becoming chartered accountants was a struggle all on its own. The first paycheck had to fix the roof. The qualification bonus had to put up a tombstone. All those things were reasonably affordable when people were qualifying as chartered accountants during Thabo Mbeki's presidency. Those things were reasonable expectations that people could afford. You could take your fellow brothers and sisters that are still boomer, like in high school and stuff like that. You could take them to school, nice schools, wherever village you come from. You could take them to nice schools on that salary. I know people that say that they could be able to support their families back at home on an intern salary, a psychiatrist salary. Fana, ask me that right now. They cry, Fana. They mention things like black tax because it's starting that natural ability to be able to lift up your home is now seen as somewhat of a tax. Has its own politics. We're not going to engage on those today, but we'll discuss it one day. Black tax, kanti siyaphi singabantu. We'll discuss that. So that's how cooked we are. one of the other running jokes. My pay slip is a few once you go WhatsApp. It's not the nudes. You don't want to eat my fast is one is not the nudes, boy. We will have you once or a clagging or two smileys, once or no, Gilila by cute. Eat my fast to shine. Fuck. Wow. So that's how cool we are. But here we must also discuss to put together what do we do in this regard. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Abanya kumpona ke le content creator go bolela. Mara so as I mentioned at the start that there's a bill that is going through parliament. It's going to talk about these things because the objectives there is that they want to see a situation whereby when job adverts are posted, they release the salary band, range, notch, whatever you call it. Therefore, when you apply for a job, you know what you are getting yourself into. So that you are able to know that I'm not going to waste my time applying for a job that it's going to pay me less than what I'm currently earning. Secondly, this thing that recruiters have to say that give us your previous place's salary, it's going to be cancelled. It's no longer going to be a thing. Barile, I'll call the doctor Mayman. I'll call her. So another one, very importantly, which is going to be one of the conversations we must have. I think I want, but let me just discuss it a bit. As you would know, you can't discuss your salary with fellow employees. The only place you can discuss your salary is HR. In HR, but marinate about explain why are they trying to bust the nut up in your ass. So you can't discuss it with Skumbuzo to say that, yes, Skumbuzo, we do the same type of work, what. And that's why most of the time you'll hear stories that, there was panel candies who get off national metric, afi, calgo TUT, nix. Mahotula Shewa, Imona candies is a move of 32,000. When I sent them obeyed at 22,000. That time when I will training candies. So to ensure that there is somewhat of transparency in people's pay structures, they are saying that that thing that companies have as policy to discuss their salaries and stuff like that is no longer a thing. You will now be allowed to go ask and discuss salaries as employees and colleagues. Well, at least if you want to share that. It's not like they want to put a gun to your head and say, hey, you must tell us what you earn. You will now be allowed to be able to share, to say that, no, me, I'm working here as this position, and in this position, I am getting an X amount. So that if HR was busting a nut in your ass, you are going to tell them that, Chief, run me my check, please. Because, hey, man, it's pretty unfair if you think about it. It's pretty unfair that you have people doing the same type of job, but like they're not getting paid the same way. To each his own, man. Capitalism is weird. It's always taking chances. It's always taking chances. I was twiddling my thumbs there, so sorry. So, guys, I cannot overemphasize the importance of this. We must go support it some way, somehow. If it gets rejected from Parliament, it must be brought back. Right? And one of the things that I like about bills in Parliament and stuff is that you don't need to go vote for the guy that proposed the bill. You don't need to be their card-carrying member. You just need to be like, this is a really great idea. And we want this. You understand? So, I think there will be a process at some point for like public comment or something, whereby they will comment and say, hey, as the public, we believe in this. I think we must support it because, wow. I don't think, that's why, multi-party democracy sometimes, I would see it, is that it works. Because this is something I don't think the other guys would have thought about. Because, it's not really big picture problems. You understand? It's not big picture problems. Poverty is big picture problem. Housing crisis, the looming housing crisis, is big picture problem. GBV, you understand? Big picture problem. You understand? That needs like a whole lot of intellectual resources in that. But at least with multi-party democracy, we get people that will think about, those easily overlooked stuff there. So my favorite, that was my nugget anyway. So the Temai Money's bill there in Parliament must be supported. Corporate is a scam. The truth is that we have not benefited.
The truth is we have not benefited. We are being used like spoons.
Yeah, that lady says it right. You heard her. The truth is that we have not benefited. We are being, Anyway, so I now have a TikTok. Anyway, we'll talk about my TikTok just now also. Now I have TikTok. I'm now on Instagram as well, and it's public. And I have Facebook, and it's public. Don't know what I'm gonna try to achieve with those, but yeah, I'm gonna try to make more time, shoot these rambling sessions on Sundays, and then me and Mr. Say on Saturdays and Friday evenings will try to have a podcast whereby I get to be myself. Am I myself? Yes, I'm gonna be myself. Be the best version of you. No, did I just say best? Okay. Be the best version of you. That's the message. Anyway, must press play, né? What beautiful sound. What beautiful sound. Amapiano. Yes. If you want to know about me and Amapiano, guys, if you really want to know about me and Amapiano, the love I have for Amapiano, must follow me there on TikTok. Bravado Maida _OXV. The boy from the 9130 residing in the 2090. Because Bravado Maida is culture, guys. Bravado Maida is culture, and I'm culture. I am Amapiano, I am Kwaito, I am Gqom, I am house music, I am soul. But anyway, hopefully we will have another rambling session because there's so much we can ramble about. And maybe maybe I shouldn't have even done this video about how cooked we are, because it seems that you guys have the money to buy Uber Eats and stuff. But anyway, thanks for joining me to hear me ramble and ramble and ramble. Right now, I'm just gonna finish up and prepare for tomorrow, because tomorrow is a Monday, and a Monday is Majita Monday. Yeah. And on Mondays we spread nothing but positivity. I was injured this Monday, but the boys know that